This is the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24 and this is the Asics GT-2000 version 13. They're two of the most popular shoes in each range, however there's some key differences between them. Not only that, but in each model they've completely updated the midsole compared to their older generation, so I'll talk to you a little bit about that and then how these recent models compare to each other. So let's start off with the cushioning. Brooks have updated the midsole, so it's got Brooks's DNA Loft V3 nitrogen infused midsole. So it's a more balanced cushioning than you had in the previous model. So you sink into it a little bit more, it's not as firm and has pretty good energy return. In contrast to that, in the Asics, they've moved from a softer ride to a more firmer, snappier ride. So it's more of an up-tempo shoe than it used to be. So they feel completely different underfoot. The Adrenaline's a bit more balanced and a bit more firmer in the Asics GT-2000. There's 36mm of cushioning in the rear foot, 28 in the forefoot, giving you 8mm drop in the Asics. Slightly higher drop in the Adrenaline, with 35mm in the rear foot, 23 in the forefoot, giving you a 12mm drop from the back to the front. It comes in around 283 grams in a size 9 men's US, whereas the Asics comes in slightly lighter, 266 grams in the same size. The stability elements of both shoes are different. So the Adrenaline GTS 24 we consider more of a moderate to maximal stability shoe. So they provide stability through their go-to support system. So they've got this stripy cushioning on the inside of the shoe, which is extended compared to the previous model. So rather than just being under the arch of the foot, it goes from the heel all the way to the end of the midfoot. It's a denser type of cushion that's harder to compress. So when you initiate pronation moments during the gait cycle, this more denser cushioning provides resistance to the pronation forces pushing it back out again. It's got nice sole flare on the forefoot to keep your foot centered as you enter the push-off phase of the gait cycle, and it's got a stiff heel counter to provide that extra element of stability. In contrast to that, with the GT-2000, they have some sidewalls on the midfoot, on the inside and on the outside of the shoe, so that provides stability by cradling your heel. It's got a mild to moderately stiff heel counter, so not as stiff as what you get in the Adrenaline. It's got some nice sole flare and a broad base of support to give you added elements of stability, but it doesn't have that medial arch support that you get in the Adrenaline. So it doesn't provide as much resistance to pronation forces as what you get in an Adrenaline. This is more of a mild to moderate stability shoe as opposed to the moderate to maximal stability that you get in the Adrenaline. Then as we move on top, they're slightly different as well. So you've got more of a woven plush knit on top of the Adrenaline, and you've got an engineered mesh on top of the GT-2000. It's a little bit narrower in the toe box, so it's a bit more like a race type feel, so it wraps around your foot in the GT-2000, so we found it a little bit tight, whereas you've got a bit more space in the Adrenaline. All of them come in a wide and an extra wide version, so if you have a wider foot, that's not a problem. You've got a very thin tongue on the Asics, and you've got a more of a padded tongue on the Brooks that's not gusseted, where it's semi-gusseted on the Asics, so that's just where it's just stitched in a little bit. You've got mild to moderate padding on the heel counter, and you've got more luxurious padding on the Adrenaline. So that fits in with a little bit of a heavier shoe, so it's a bit plusher on top, thicker tongue, more padding around the heel counter, more support overall. You've got a lighter, firmer, snappier shoe in the GT-2000. If you've got any questions on these or any other shoes, please leave them in the comment section below. We purchase the shoes independently, so if you buy through the links in the description, it helps fund our channel without affecting the price that you pay. Otherwise, just like and share and subscribing really makes a big difference. Thanks for watching.